Hi, I'm Christa Jacobson, headmistress of the Budo, where we teach authentic ninjutsu and classical samurai Bujutsu. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's the ancient martial arts of the ninja and samurai. In today's video, we're going to be discussing situational awareness and its relation to self-defense training. We're also going to be talking about specific red flags that you need to be aware of to keep yourself out of an extreme, violent situation. Now, before I begin, I always give a shout out to all of my new viewers. So if this is the first video that you guys have seen of me, my name is Christa Jacobson. I'm the headmistress of the Budo, which means School of the Warrior Way. We teach koryu ninjutsu and koryu bujutsu, so the ancient martial arts of the ninja and samurai. This organization does have other areas of focus, such as reality-based self-defense, weapons training and tactics, concealed carry, survival skills, martial arts theory, thought and philosophy, martial arts conditioning. If any of these topics interest you at all, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and don't forget to click the bell. I do post 2 to 3 videos every single week, so if you're interested in any of those topics, please subscribe, click the bell, and keep up with what we're doing. So today we're going to be discussing self-defense training, specifically the mental aspects of self-defense, such as situational awareness and some of the red flags that come up. Now, I want to say that today we're going to be looking at the basic fundamental principles of this. This is not going to be something advanced. This is going to be a video on the basic principles of situational awareness, self-defense 101, the red flags that's going to happen right before you get into a violent encounter. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. First of all, let's talk about situational awareness for some of you guys who might not be aware of what that is. Situational awareness is exactly what the word says. It's you being aware of the situation that you're in. Now, I've made countless videos on situational awareness. In fact, I have a whole series of it on my YouTube channel if you guys want to go into the self-defense playlist and check out those videos. So when we talk about situational awareness, it's you understanding the situation, the people within the environment. How can you get out of the environment when shit hits the fan? And that's what you need to be aware of constantly. When the environment changes, when the situation changes, you need to become more aware of that environment and that situation. Now, some people are going to say, well, why do I need to be aware of my situation every time I go somewhere? Well, because you do, right? Let me just throw this example at you. If you came into the dojo and I say, okay, today you guys are going to spar. We're going to work on sparring and kickboxing. So you're on one side, the person you're going to kickbox or work on sparring drills is on the other, and I said, are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, kumite, go. There's going to be a certain level of expectation with that situation. If I said today we're going to be working on grappling skills, okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, grab each other. Okay, the first one that gets the kensetsu waza or the lock or the tap or whatever is going to win. Ready? And go. Again, there's going to be a certain level of expectation in that environment. In a self-defense situation, you don't know what's going to happen. Predators go after prey. That is a fact. They're not going to go after someone that's going to be bigger and stronger and have a tactical advantage. The reality of it is, when a predator attacks you, they have picked you out as prey. They're going to be bigger, they're going to be stronger, they're going to be faster, they're going to have a tactical advantage, whether that's firearms or edged weapons. They're going to know the situation and the environment better than you. There's probably going to be more of them. So it isn't the same situation as when you're in the dojo floor and there's someone on one side and then there's someone on the other side, and then it's like, okay, are you ready? Are you ready? And then kumite. That's not going to be the same situation. The situation in self-defense, or goshinjutsu is what we call it in traditional Japanese martial arts, you're in an environment that you can't control. You're in an environment to where you don't know what's going to happen. You have to be aware of the situation. If you go to the gas station, you pull up to get some gas, you get out of the car and then you start pumping gas, right? Once you start doing that, if you're not aware of what's behind you or the people around you, someone walks up to you and then knifes you and takes your car, right? That's you not being aware of the situation. They're not going to sit there and say, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on, right? Kumite. That's not going to happen. So constantly being aware of your situation is an extreme crucial aspect to self-defense, because if you're not aware of what's going on around you, you're not going to be able to defend yourself when shit happens, right? So you have to constantly be aware of your environment and the situation. The situation is constantly changing. People are moving. People are talking. There's going to be cars going by. Everything is constantly in flux. So you have to be aware of the situation that you're in constantly. Yes, you need to have exit strategy. Yes, you need to have certain things to help you be more victorious, if you will, in that situation, whether that's carrying weapons or whatever it is that you're going to do, but you still have to be aware of the situation. Because in a reality-based self-defense situation, you will not know it's coming. It's going to happen. It's like a surprise attack, a blind attack. It's going to happen. It's going to get extremely violent very quickly. And if you are not aware of your situation, you are putting yourself in a disadvantageous position. Now, let's paint the picture to where you are in a situation and someone is walking up to you and they may be saying words to you that you don't like. You have to ask yourself certain questions as they're walking to you, as they're presenting the threat to you, because certain things are going to be red flags that's going to be like, okay, this person really means to do harm to me, right? And these are the things that you have to be aware of. So number one, intention. Do they intend to hurt you, or do they just intend to be an asshole? And those are not the same thing. There's lots of people who talk a bunch of shit and they run their mouth and they say hateful and hurtful things, but their intention isn't physical harm. So the first thing you have to determine is this person have the intention to do physical violence to me? Do they intend to physically hurt me? That's the first thing that you have to come up with. Now, if you come to the conclusion that this person does intend to harm me, this person does intend to be violent towards me, then you got to ask yourself, does this person have the ability to do it? Right? You got to size them up. Do they walk like they know how to fight? Do they walk like they know how to handle themselves? Are they presenting themselves with a weapon? Do they have something in their hand? This sort of thing. Are they, you know, there's so many different aspects to this where you're talking about, you know, I know they say quote unquote profiling is wrong, but got to be real here. You got to size up your opponent. If someone's trying to intend to do violence towards you, you need to ask those specific questions. You know, can they handle themselves? Do they appear to handle themselves? I've already made videos on how you can go through the checklist and see certain things where you can actually think about the ability of another person. But so we're not going to get into that, but that's the next question. You got to ask them, do they have the ability to hurt me? Do they have it? Whether that's multiple attackers, weapons, just them physically, do they have the ability to harm me? So the next thing we're going to talk about is the situation. If you run into someone who has the intention to harm you and they have the ability to harm you, are they in a situation to where they can harm you? That's the key. And even though you may not be able to, you know, control someone's intention or control someone's ability, and we could talk about different techniques and all that kind of stuff, but you can control your situation. You can always remove yourself from a situation. And in classical Japanese martial arts, we call that Ninjutsu or evasion techniques. You can always remove yourself from there. Anyone who grew up watching the original Karate Kid movies, I believe it was Mr. Miyagi that said, best defense, don't be there. It's so true. So if you're in a situation where you're like, okay, this person intends to harm me, their intent is to harm me, they have the ability to harm me, then just don't be there. Don't put yourself in a situation to where they can do that. You can remove yourself from there. You can do different evasion techniques to get out of that situation. The reality of it is predators will always go after prey. So you have to be aware of your situation. Don't put yourself in a position to where someone can harm you. Now, we can always go down the line about self-defense techniques and training and all that kind of stuff. And that's usually what most of my videos are about. There's a quote that I've said 1,000,000 times. I'm going to say it 1,000,000 more. It's a quote by Miyamoto Musashi. The way is in training. You have to train. You have to train to be able to control your mind, your body, your spirit, your emotions, everything in an extreme violent situation. If you are not trained to control yourself in a violent situation, the chances of being victorious are massively slim. You have to train. The way is in training, whether that's hand-to-hand combat, whether that's weapons training, strategy and tactics, everything comes into play. Survival skills, you have to be trained in the arts to be able to prevail in a violent situation. If you're not trained, it isn't gonna matter. Because if you're not trained and highly skilled in self-defense tactics, if someone's in front of you and they have the intent to harm you and they have the ability to harm you and you don't have the ability to protect yourself, well then you're screwed. You have to train. Again, the way is in training. You have to train. You have to train and submerge your body, mind, and spirit into everything. Empty-handed training, whether it's striking, grappling, throwing, weapons training, survival skills. You have to have the skills. And if you don't, you're literally putting yourself in a disadvantageous position to survive in the situation that you don't ever want to get into. And the thing is you don't necessarily choose whether you're in that situation or not unless you're constantly training in situational awareness. If you're really good at situational awareness, you'll never be in a situation where you have to protect yourself. Unfortunately, you cannot control the intent of somebody else. And if someone intends to do harm to you, you have to be skilled to protect yourself against their intent. Now, I'm not exactly for sure what you guys got out of today's video. I know this one's kind of a short one compared to most of my other videos where I'm going out and about and talking about martial arts theory, thought, and philosophy, but here's the reality of it is, you guys need to make sure that you're constantly training in situational awareness. And to do that, every time you go somewhere, check the exit doors, watch the way people move, watch the way they act, and then try to size them up. Where are the people that can do harm? What are the ones that they know how to hold themselves? Do you sit in a way that you can see the exit door? Do you always have a way as an exit strategy regardless of everywhere that you're going? And when it comes to understanding psychological advantageous positions, when people walk up to you and they present themselves to you, do you go through the Rolodex? Do you go through the checkpoints and say, okay, do they intend to harm me? Do they have the ability to harm me? And are they in a situation where they can harm me? Can you go through those points and say, okay, I can't control that, but I can control this, or I can change this, or I can, change my position at this, and put yourself in a position to be more advantageous in a situation that may cause violence to you and your family. So there's today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do post 2 to 3 videos every single week. If you guys are interested in authentic ninjutsu and classical samurai bujutsu, please check out my website at www.budo-ninjutsu.com. There you guys can see a list of the traditions that we have, the philosophies and strategies that we teach. If you don't live next to one of our schools, you guys can always join the Budo online ninjutsu dojo and start training with us that way. So thank you guys very much for your love and support. I deeply appreciate it. Until next time, take care, be safe, and good luck in your journey of Budo.